Hey guys, it's Carissa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video called Reread, Rewrite, or Burn. And this video is actually going to be in two parts because what I want to do is take all of the books that I have read from this year, 2020, and play this little game. And the way we play this game is I have all of the books that I have read. This is the first half. I have all the books that I've read the first half of this year in here, just written on pieces of paper. And we'll do this in a bunch of rounds. I will pick three books out of here, read them to you, and tell you which ones of the three I would like to rewrite, reread, or burn. This will be broken up into two parts. The first part will be all of the books from the first half that I read in 2020. The second part will be all the books that I read in the second half of 2020. I actually read 30 books in the first half, but I'm going to split it up and just put 27 in here. My goal for the whole year is to read 52 books, one book a week. All right, so let's just get on with it. Let me see. The first book is Anne of Avonlea, which is Anne of Green Gables, number 2, and this is written by L.M. Montgomery. The second book, I'm not looking, I promise, is The Two Towers, which is the second book in the Lord of the Rings series. So it looks like we've got some sequels going on here that are against each other. Ooh. And the third book is The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schulte. Now, I think this round's going to be pretty easy because I love The Two Towers so much. It is one of my favorite books of all time. It has some of my favorite scenes in there. When Sam is at Shelob's lair and things happen, and I love that so much. So if I had to choose between these three, I will definitely reread The Two Towers, written by J.R.R. Tolkien. I will rewrite Anne of Avonlea because I liked it, I enjoyed it, but there were some parts that I felt like could have been cut. And not that I can actually rewrite any of these books. I would probably just edit them because I am no good at writing. The third book, The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schulte, I read this book really quick and it was really easy to read, but the more I think about it, the less and less I like it, so I would have to burn this book. See ya. All right, that was easy. That was an easy one. Whew, we can do this. All right, let's see. Round 2. The next book is My Dark Vanessa, written by Kate Elizabeth Russell, and this was a very intense book, I will tell you that. Second book, let's see, is The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. The next book is Smile, which is a graphic novel written by Raina Telgemeier. So I'm probably saying that wrong, so I'm sorry, but these three. All right, so this is tricky. I definitely rated My Dark Vanessa 5 stars, but it's such an intense book and a very hard topic to actually read about, and I don't think I would ever want to reread this again. So I guess I would reread The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. This was a really slow-moving, beautiful, heartfelt, sad book that I actually absolutely loved. So I will reread The Light Between Oceans. I will rewrite Smile, I guess. I don't know. It's a children's graphic novel. There wasn't much for me to do, or much for me to enjoy. I mean, it was good, it was cute, but it was definitely for a younger audience. But I will rewrite this one because I don't think it deserves to be burned. And then My Dark Vanessa, even though I loved it very, very much, I want to burn this book so I never have to read it and nobody has to read it, and I hope that situation never happens to anybody. It's intense, so don't read it, but it's really well written, so I don't know, it's hard. All right, round 3, I think. Let's see. The first book I picked is Born a Crime, written by Trevor Noah, and this is a nonfiction about his life growing up in Africa. I saw that one before I picked it up. Hold on, let me mix them up. The second book in this round is The Toll, which is The Arc of the Scythe, number 3, written by Neil Shusterman. Yeah, it's the ending of the trilogy. So let's see, the third book in this round is, all right, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Let me see. I don't want to burn any of these. I will tell you that right now. This one's a little bit harder for me to do. I think... Alright, I think I'm going to reread Little Women. Out of all of these, this is the most rereadable one. It's a classic. It's like comfort food. I love Little Women. I will reread Little Women. Out of these two, honestly, I would have picked both of these for a rewrite, because Born a Crime, while I'm not going to rewrite his life, I would just edit it so the certain events in his life were actually in chronological order and not just all over the place, because I was really confused about what happened. And the Arc of the Scythe, I felt like just needed to be cut by like 100 to 200 pages. I think I'm just going to rewrite Born a Crime and edit it, like I said, to chronological order, because I'm not going to burn a story about somebody's life. And then I will burn The Toll by Neil Shusterman, because it was a good book, but there were definitely things that I wish could have been changed, and out of all of them, I have to burn it. That's the rules. Okay, let's see. Round 4? I don't know. I'm not keeping track. Let me see. 1, 2. Yeah, round 4. Round 4. Let's see. The next books are The Fellowship of the Rings, which is Lord of the Rings number 1, written by J.R.R. Tolkien. All right, the next one is Arch Enemies, which is Renegades number 2. It's a trilogy, so it's the middle book, and this was written by Marissa Meyer. And then the third one, let's see, it is The Clutternet. Let me try that again. This is The Clutter Connection, written by Cassandra Arson. It's a self-help cleaning book, I guess you would call it. All right, out of all these, I will 100% reread Lord of the Rings. It took me forever to get into this book. I tried reading it one time when I was in high school, and I could not get into it. The second time I tried to read it, it was still the same story. But this year, I read it fully all the way, and even though it still took me about half the book to get into it, I listened to it on audio, so it wasn't that hard to actually read. I could just listen to it while I was doing other things. And I absolutely fell in love with Lord of the Rings. I feel cheesy saying it because it's a classic and everybody's like, oh, Lord of the Rings, it's such a great book, but it really is a great book. Once you get past that like first hump, it's amazing. I will reread Lord of the Rings. The second, rewrite or burn. All right, I am actually going to rewrite Arch Enemies. It was a fine book. It was good. It wasn't my favorite, but there definitely could have been some things that were changed. So I will rewrite Arch Enemies, and I will burn The Clutter Connection, just for the simple fact that the author of this is actually a YouTuber, and I watch her channel a lot. It's called Cass the Clutterbug. I think her channel's The Clutterbug. And while this book has great information, you can find all of that information on her YouTube channel, which I had already watched, and so this book just felt super repetitive, so I'm going to burn that one. Oops. Okay, on to number 5, I think. Round 5, let's see. We've got, The Yellow Wallpaper and Other Stories, written by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This is super scary short story, and I love it, but I didn't necessarily love her other ones, so, Second book, Supernova, which is The Renegades number 3. It's the ending of the trilogy, written by Marissa Meyer. The last one, I just peeked again, so I gotta mix them up. Okay, the last one is The Once and Future King, written by T.H. White, which is a classic King Arthur story. And out of all of these, I will reread The Yellow Wallpaper and Other Short Stories because, one, this is short, and It's easy to read. And the yellow wallpaper is such a monumental dialogue on women's mental health. And it's amazing, it's horrifying, and it's great. So just for that story alone, I will reread all of the others. The Yellow Wallpaper. I will rewrite The Once and Future King, written by T.H. White. Honestly, this book was written in like 4 parts, and the first 2 parts I absolutely loved. It was so full of whimsy, so fun. You know, King Arthur, Merlin growing up, all of turning into animals, all of that is in here. Like the classic Sword in the Stone Disney movie is based off of this and the first 2 parts, and I absolutely loved it. The third part, it took me 6 months to get through the third part, whereas it took me 2 weeks to get through the first 2 parts. So I would definitely rewrite The Once and Future King, at least that middle section, because man, it was hard. The fourth part was fine. It was good, a good ending. It wrapped things up, whatever. But that middle part, rewrite, definitely. And then I'm gonna burn Supernova, just because it was fine, it was good, I enjoyed it, but I just didn't care about it. And this is more of like a YA superhero kind of trilogy, and while it's fun, it's also just fluff and candy, simple, easy to read, but I will burn that one. Let's see what this next one is. Once Upon a Time by Roshani Chachki. I can't say that name very well. Once more, this was an Audible original, so it was just in audiobook form. Classic fairy tale retelling kind of thing. Alright, second book in this is The Return of the King, Lord of the Rings #3. I already know which one I'm going to reread. And the third book in this is World War Z. Okay, I can do this. I will definitely reread The Return of the King, Lord of the Rings. Like I said earlier, I just fell in love with it, and I love this classic fantasy story, and I love it more than the movies, which the movies were awesome. So I will reread The Return of the King. I will, honestly, okay, World War Z. I will rewrite World War Z. I liked it. It was fine. But the journal entry style, I don't think is for me. So I would rewrite it where it wasn't quite so journal heavy, if that makes sense. And then I guess I would just burn Once More Upon a Time, because this was an Audible original. It was only like, 2 to 4 hours long. Like, it was super short. It was basically a movie in audio form, and if I'm going to read, I want a lot more than what a movie can give me, so I'm going to burn Once Upon a Time. Not that it was bad. I enjoyed it. It was fun. But just like the other one, it was fluff and candy and too much like a movie. Round 7. Let's see. All right, Let It Go by Peter Walsh. No, this is not Frozen. This is a self-help book about cleaning and decluttering, because I'm really into those. I listen to them while I clean all the time, and it just helps me motivate me to clean. Okay, Let It Go by Peter Walsh. The second one is, all right, Decluttering at the Speed of Life, written by Dana K. White. Another decluttering self-help book. Into the Drowning Deep is a horror story about mermaid-type creatures, and this was written by, I've got my computer right here with all the authors so I can remember who wrote this one. Oh yeah, Mira Grant, also known as Shauna McGuire. All right, so out of these ones, I will burn Let It Go because it was boring and dry, and I just simply didn't care for it. Honestly, I'd listen to Decluttering at the Speed of Life by Dana K. White again as I'm cleaning. It was really fun to listen to in audiobook form while I was cleaning, and this is so far my favorite decluttering book, I guess you would say. So I will reread this one, and even though I really enjoyed Into the Drowning Deep and I gave it 4 stars, I am going to rewrite the ending because I felt like the author kind of gave up the last 100 pages. It's like the story was really good until the end, and then it was just kind of like, meh. So I will rewrite Into the Drowning Deep. All right. That went a different direction than I thought, but we're good. All right, now for reals, only 2 more left. Let's see. I have Catching Fire, Hunger Games #2, written by Suzanne Collins. Oh man, we haven't done any Hunger Games. We're probably going to get these all against each other. Yep, the second book is Mockingjay, which is Hunger Games #3, written by Suzanne Collins. Let's see. The third book, okay, The Guinevere Deception, written by Kristen White. Not Hunger Games, that's coming in the next one, I can tell you. All right, out of this one, I will reread Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, Hunger Games #2. I really enjoy Hunger Games, but the longer it went on, the more books, the less I liked it. So I will reread Catching Fire. I will rewrite Mockingjay. I don't know how I would rewrite it, but there's just something in that third book that I can't quite connect with. So I would rewrite Mockingjay. And then I enjoyed Guinevere Deception, but out of all those books, I don't have like this feeling of love for this as I do Hunger Games. So I guess I'll burn the Guinevere Deception. Yeah. All right, that was good. All right, here we are to the last round, for sure. I only have 3 books left, and let's see what they are. All right, just like I thought. The Hunger Games, the first book in the trilogy, written by Suzanne Collins. The second book is The Hand on the Wall, which is Truly Devious Series #3. It's the end of the trilogy, written by Maureen Johnson. And the last and final book here is Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, written by Fanny Flagg. And let's see. I don't know which one of these I'm going to have to get rid of. I enjoyed all of them. This is hard. Okay. I think I enjoyed this book. I liked it. It was fun, but I think I'm going to have to burn Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. It was a little dry. It was a little long. So I'm going to burn that one. And out of these 2, I'm not sure which one I would reread or rewrite, because I have such nostalgia for the Hunger Games, and the first one was amazing and I loved it so much. And The Hand on the Wall. Okay, no, I got it. I'm going to reread The Hunger Games because, like I said, my nostalgia is strong and I love it, so reread Hunger Games. And I will rewrite The Hand on the Wall. There is one specific part in here that I remember where a character shows up kind of out of the blue at the perfect opportunity, and it just felt totally forced. And so I would rewrite that scene so that character never shows up, but somehow things still happen how they're supposed to happen. Does that make sense? I don't want to get into spoilers since it's book #3 and it's like a mystery, so I can't, but I would rewrite that part for sure. All right, so that's everything that I have for you today. Those are all of the books that I read in the first half of 2020, and you got to know my feelings by rereading, rewriting, or burning them. And I will see you soon with another video where I do the exact same thing, but with the books in the second half of the year. So I guess I'll see you then. Bye.